Hey, this is Mike DeMora coming to you from NCEP Fitness here in Redondo Beach, California. So today what I really wanted to go back, I wanted to take a few steps back and just make sure that we really truly understand our 5 components of fitness, right? When we think about it, I don't think people are getting the whole broader picture of what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So I wanted to go over each one. I'll try to make it very, very brief and try to make you understand that it's all one thing. Now remember, our whole philosophy is that we have a holistic approach, and a holistic approach means all the parts make up the whole. And that's what makes it so special. So they all are interrelated. So let's talk about one of the 5 components, which say cardiovascular conditioning, right? Cardiovascular training. What's that about? That is about efficiently getting new oxygenated blood into your body, all throughout your body. So a couple of the components that's really important is that what? Is that your arteries and your veins are clean and clear, right? Well, what does that have to do with? That has a lot to do with what? With your nutrition, which follows into the next one. Now let's talk about nutrition. We have 5 components of nutrition, of a healthy eating plan. When we look at nutrition, we look at many different things, but most importantly, what I want you to get out of our nutrition component is that you need to eat real, true foods, real, whole foods, foods that aren't processed, aren't broken down, don't have things taken out of. And we want to make sure that when you eat a plentiful, a whole abundance of vegetables, fruits, all the important nutrients and vitamins. We don't look at macronutrients, meaning protein, fat, and carbohydrate. We look at micronutrients, the important vitamins and minerals that are based inside of our foods, enzymes, all these important living factors. And you're only going to get living live food if you what? If you eat whole foods that aren't been processed, aren't been crushed, aren't been thrown into, with all the chemicals and all that crap. Okay, so next, let's look at what? Let's look at resistance training. What is resistance training about? Once again, I think I've done this one ad nauseum, but let's just make sure we understand what resistance training is. In fact, it's kind of a misnomer when we say resistance training, because people think you have to add weight. For us, resistance training means what? Moving your body through what? Through our 7 movements. Our push, our pull, our bend, twist, squat, lunge, and gait. And gait is what? Oh, by the way, gait means walk, jog, or run. And when you think about it, what is gait? Gait is a what? Gait is our cardiovascular. Remember how it all goes together. Okay, so now when we talk about moving your body, wait a minute, moving your body, the ability to move your body into those 7 movements, which are the only 7 movements that the human body can actually do, right? With those 7 movements, we apply what? We apply holds, we apply move slowly, and then we apply what? Moving fast, or using power, explosiveness, the power of your life. So what would be the next one? Well, when we talk about moving, the ability to move, that sounds like flexibility. So once again, flexibility is just all part of the 5 components. They're all blended together. So flexibility is the ability to what? To move your body freely. The ability that muscles are both be able to contract and relax, and when they're in a relaxed state, they're still not tense or full of neural signal, and so you have to release that, right? So think about something like yoga, where yoga, you're what? You're working on your breathing, you're holding positions, you're working on your strength, you're working on your flexibility, and you're doing breathing patterns, to actually work on the next phase, which is what? Which is attitude. So when we look at our attitude training, what do we look at that? We look at our mava, our what? Our meditation, right? We want to meditate and we want to get into a great state. And then we want to affirm it. We want to say it over and over again. We want to visualize it actually happening. And then we want to anchor it. Anchoring it just means we put it in a place that we know that we can get to it really easily. We do a specific thing, so we anchor it, and then we know, bam, we can jump back into that state at any given time. So those are our 5 components, but do you see how they're all blended together? Guys, you can't just break up one thing. Whether you're working out with your body weight, or whether you're meditating, or whether you're doing yoga, whether you're doing any of these things, they're all blended together. Remember, nutrition's always going to be a part of it. Why? Because that's what's fueling your body. So the way that you eat will push all the other four, right? Then the way that you think has such a huge impact on the rest of your life. You know, there's an old saying that I believe Dr. Wayne Dyer, God bless him, he had this saying that said, when you change the way you look at things, what you look at changes. And I just want you to really think about that saying, because that is the secret to life. It's when you look at things differently, you'll all of a sudden get different meanings from them. And I want us to all just take time and really stop and look at the way we look at things. If we look at things negatively and we always look at, oh, everyone's out to get us and everyone's going to be, you know, and we're never going to make money because people are going to steal from us and never going to whatever, then that's what we see. That's what we see. If we look at people and we think that they're inherently bad, then that's what we see. We see the badness. We see the negative. Just change the way you look at things. You know, I think it was even Michael Jackson that said, you know, change starts with you, right? It starts with the way you feel about yourself and the way you look at yourself. And you know, there's an old saying, be the change that you want to see in the world. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Set the example. Be the one that people look at and go, wow, that's what I want to do, right? Be the example. Be the change. Anyway, I'm rambling. I just wanted to make sure you understand that all 5 components are all intertwined with one another. And all of them are being used all the time. You can't just single one out. So the idea of that, people always say, well, which one should I work on in this workout? All of them. What do you mean all of them? I don't have time for all of them. You always have time for all of them because all of them are always working. All of them all work at the same time. You can't do one without the other. You can't have strength without flexibility. You can't have cardiovascular conditioning without the strength to pull it off. You can't clear your mind and not have anything, right? You always have to have an attitude. And ours is an attitude of gratitude, right? So once again, I'm just trying to make sure you understand it's all one thing. We're all part of the same world. We're all interconnected. And all 5 of our components are all the same. It's just which one you put a little more focus on while you're trying to train it a little better. Okay? I hope that helped. Hope it didn't confuse you more. Sorry if I went a little over today. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. God bless.